Welcome everybody to another episode of Turtley Wild. We are here again for the Nerdy Turtle Part 2. This is on adult Sacalia, and once again we're at the Tennessee Aquarium. Actually filmed this the same day as the first one, just showing you different stuff. This is a male Sacalia quadriocellata. Try and get a good shot of its head. That's why I'm moving the camera up and down. And you can see right there its head is coming out. And a little bit later on, we'll show you a male Beals, and you'll see the difference in those. But with this, I wanted to just tell you a little bit about this species. They're found in southern China and Vietnam, and they live in these smaller order streams. And they typically like kind of mid-elevation streams, not really above 500 meters. At least some studies in Hainan have shown about 500 meters, but that's in Hainan. In Vietnam, it could be totally different because the climate's different. But you'll see the setup. It's kind of a basic setup. I see a lot of these in China for this species. You got the mostly aquatic area, and then you have a little bit of a land. And that's because these turtles like to be on the land. You can see that in the image up there. This is a female we found in Hainan that we trapped. And she wasn't out basking, but there are reports that they do bask. And this is what the habitat looks like. This is their preferred habitat, kind of got some coverage, and then you got the rocks, different types of rocks, very complex substrate. But they really need that cooler water. Room temperature is fine, and then they like to have it clear. All right, so that's the big thing. A lot of people say these are difficult to keep, but really they just need that clean water. Now this is the male Beals, and you can see that head is totally different. There's the insert there of the male quad, and you can see that head is different. The eye spots on it is clear in the Beals, and they have all those little dots on the head. Now for both these species, they don't lay a lot of eggs. From the studies in the wild, they really only lay one. Average for quads is about 1.9 eggs per clutch, and only one clutch a year. And for Beals is about 2.2, but still only one clutch per year. The interesting thing is, quadriocellata lays in the winter from like December to April, whereas Beals, they typically lay in May or somewhere around there, typically May, at least in Fujian province where they did a study on them. And the incubation temperature, the mean incubation temperature is 25 degrees for Beals and only 24 for quads, even though quads are much lower in a more tropical environment than the Beals. So that's kind of interesting. But that's because quads lay in the winter, Beals lay in the summer, so it makes sense it's a little warmer. And this is a female, and if we can get the head come out, which you do, you're going to be able to see the difference in a female's head versus a male's head. This is a Beals because you see those spots on the head, so that's a Beals. All right, and they're going to be different. The males have a darker head. The coloring in the eyes is different. You can see the female has a little bit of the light on that posterior eye, whereas the males are both dark. So the females keep a little bit more of that juvenile coloration in those posterior eyes, where it's a little bit lighter. And this is the plastron, the female. The female and male's plastron is a little different as well. And the females, all right, the Beals, they come out at night to lay their eggs. They don't do it during the day, even though they are active during the day. But they're also active at night. They're nocturnal as well. And they come out at night to lay their eggs. And they typically don't move more than about 30 feet from the shore. And they lay their eggs under some leaves and dirt. But that's just a quick look at the adults. You can see they look a little different. The species are different. And this is just a nice male quadriocellata saying bye to everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, learned a little bit about the species as far as their natural ecology. These are a wonderful species. I really love this species. I'm glad I get to work with them in the wild.